Hello everyone, welcome in. I am woahhjess, and today I have an off-stream version of Dwarf Fortress featuring Coldanvil, the fortress that I previously have been playing on stream. I am going to try a nice Let's Play condensed version of this. Please let me know how you feel about this format so I can make adjustments in the future, and maybe this can be a way that I continue my games that I'm no longer streaming. I can just move them over to YouTube if you like them. So let me know at the end. This save file, you might know, is called Coldanvil, the Frosty Helm. Coldanvil is my second fortress. Sort of. There was a fortress in between my first fortress and my second fortress, but this is fortress number 2. It was quite ambitious, and it still has much more work before I'm ready to retire it. Let's get loaded up. Okay, we are in. Check it out. What a mess. Let's get the super quick dirty rundown. Actually, it is pretty dirty in here. Anyways, so we've got this very first layer of my fort. This is where all my dwarves live and where they drink and where they hang out, and that's not what I want. If you want to see the beginning of this fort, you can go back and check out the other videos that came before this. They were all streams, and you can follow along with the creation of this fort. But if we take a look, this first layer is just a couple steps down from, you know, the mountain, the front door. Here's what we've got, but this actually does drop down, down, down into this great hall right here. Like I said, this was ambitious, so I made a 6-layer great hall, and I've made some mistakes, but I've started adding on extra rooms and things on each layer just so we can start migrating our dwarves downstairs. And this is it. This is the main floor. We got a lava moat. All of this took quite a long time, especially the hall and the lava moat, but that's not it. I have also built a little mist generator / waterfall over here. This is the very tippity top of it. I'll show you where it goes. But let's see, when the pump stack hits the top, our water goes this way to the right, goes in between all these diagonals, and falls down this staircase. This 3x3 staircase with a couple grates in the middle. And this staircase goes all the way down. I've even got some rotating ramps that spiral around the staircase, but those are just more aesthetic than anything. So this comes all the way down to this main floor, but the water continues to fall. This is a kind of a complicated little system I've made. But this water falls here. Let's start at the very, very beginning of this system. So, whoa. Whoa, this is new. I'll come back to this. I've got myself a frozen, slightly brook right up here. And I'll explain the significance of this in a moment, but I've got myself a frozen brook. When it's not frozen, this brook water flows in to my fort along this canal, and it gets fed into this pump stack and also powers these water wheels. So this pump stack pulls the water up, 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 all the way to the top where we just saw. And then it comes back down through the grates, and it continues to fall down until it hits right here. And so this was built after I dug the main staircase, so it's not optimal, but the water falls into these 4 squares, or down this one staircase into the cavern. And so it's not ideal that it falls into the cavern, okay? That's just the way that it is. But as I found out, the hatch does stop water from passing through it, so the only time the water falls down into the caverns any longer is when someone opens the hatch, but they don't drown or anything, so it's all good. That water gets collected here. These pump stacks will pull the water up through the grates and drop them here on the other side. And that wraps around into this small canal where it, first off, runs over all these power wheels and falls off the edge of the map here where I've got some fortifications, and it also goes this way. It tunnels, dead dwarf. It tunnels down this way, where it's picked up by a pump stack and then pumped over in this direction. And I do notice that this is a bit flooded right here. Whoops, my bad. So this picks up the water, moves it over here, which goes up and up until this pump stack drops the water back. It wraps around and meets my canal. So I've got a mixture of both a closed loop water system and I guess an open loop water system. One where the water flows in to my fort and out of my fort, and one where the water flows through my fort. And the reason why I did this was in case we had too much water. In case this generated too much water, I didn't want to flood the fort. So I made a little drainage area here. And you can see I've got some plans. This is because I actually broke my save file by accident. There was a mod mishap and I broke the save file. I tried to play it on stream and it was sound effect mayhem. So I actually managed to get that sorted. Yay! So now we're playing this again. I planned this though while I was paused, and then I hit unpause and realized my mistake with the mod mismatch. So anyways, I've already got some plans started. This is where this is important now. This freezes every winter, and when I built this, I was not expecting it to freeze. So that was kind of a surprise to me and also a learning opportunity. But we decided a couple of things. First off, we made a little lava tunnel here. That lava tunnel falls down the staircase actually and begins to fill this little cavern that I dug out, which is right underneath this brook, mostly. It is mostly right underneath this brook. The reason I did this is so that way the water would melt and stay melted in winter, at least upstream, because the water flows into the map from over here and up, and not the other way. So if I can keep this section thawed, water will flow into the fort all year round, which sounds great. I wasn't actually sure that the lava was going to melt the ice up here, and that's why I said ooh, because last I looked, this was a solid block of ice. And now it's melty! So I've realized my mistake, and I did not dig out the section immediately adjacent to my canal. Maybe the heat will radiate? I don't know. This is really unfortunate. I'm gonna have to maybe sort that out. I can't believe I did that. I didn't even think about this right here. But anyways, so we'll see how that goes over time. I have myself a solution though. What my plan was originally was to have water drain out this bottom layer underneath the water wheels. So I've got my water wheel gears connected to this strip of ground, this strip of rock, and I have my water wheels running across this layer here. And I thought, you know, it could just fall off the map in this section, because if you smooth the wall piece on the very edge of the map and then fortify it, what liquids can actually pass through. So I had this open along with these pieces right here. As it happens, this actually caused a lot of troubles, so I blocked it off. Up here though, up here the water is falling off the map faster than I can actually send it back around in the fort, so I'm constantly losing, I guess, water pressure. So I've decided to close off this section here with some walls and come up to a layer above and actually dig my drain here. So if this and manage to fill up to layer 7 all around, that's what these little numbers mean. This is saying our water is a depth of 1 out of 7, and you can see that right here under fish. It says water 1 of 7. Here it says water 2 of 7. That means the water is a depth of 2, and in this case here, the water is a depth of 7, meaning this tile, this layer is completely filled with water. So I wanted to block this off so that the water would fill up to level 7 and then overflow, hopefully, on this layer. And so if we were low pressure, this means the water would not leave the map. It would have to fill this whole area up 100% before flowing over. And that might be ideal. So that's what I was actually in the process of working on. And then I hit unpause, and it was absolute sound mayhem. And check it out. Ah, the silence of no alerts. It's great. It's so wonderful. Okay, so here's my plan. I need to figure out a way to dig this out, build a drain, and block these all off at the same time. And I can't do all these things at once, otherwise we're gonna drown some dwarves. So that's why I've queued up 3 blocks right here, so that way 1 tile still drains off. Maybe that'll be enough. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be enough to keep the water flowing. I'm really not sure. So that's what we're going to work on. We're gonna have some dwarves build this. I'm gonna start making a tunnel and try to figure out how to build a drain above this one. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'll get back to you with a potential design in just a second. Okay, so I've got a bit of a start of a design. I mean, it was most of the way there, but here's what I am thinking. I think I'm going to have a dwarf dig a single file tunnel down this way until we reach about here. We're gonna dig all this out, smooth the wall pieces because this is the very, very map edge. We cannot dig any further than this right here. So I'm gonna have a dwarf smooth these tiles out and then carve fortifications in them. Then what I will do is either replace these with some wall pieces to then also carve more fortifications in. I believe water can pass through 2 tiles of fortifications. That's gonna be a test. And then channel this section out, so if the water overflows, it fills up. This is my thought. I know it's really hard to explain, right? But it will fill up, hopefully. Hit this wall, get pushed up through a channel here, and out some fortifications. So of course I'm gonna close this back off, maybe build some floodgates. But first we dig all this out. So let's have these dwarves get started. Okay, so I actually changed the design slightly because I realized this staircase is a staircase to essentially nowhere / water that's way too deep for dwarves to swim in, or walk in, you know, so they can't dig this out, I don't think, unless they can swim. So instead I'm going to have them come from this direction. They can do it. It's crowded and there's pipes and water everywhere and mud, but they can actually make their way through a single wide tile hallway with a pipe inside it. Lucky for them. So this trapdoor is here to prevent this water from overflowing, but look at them. They're doing the thing. They're building the wall. Let's see how that looks shortly. Well, now this is gonna take forever. Look at these miners. They decided that they need to dig out some living quarters first. I think I have more than 2, but I don't know where they all are. Let's go downstairs and reassign some priorities so that these tiles are a higher priority than the tiles on the floors above. So to do that, I click some buttons. This one right here. Advanced options. Let's set these to a priority of 2. And hopefully they'll come dig this out right now, because I'm impatient. They're doing it! It's flashing. Somebody's on the way. So recently, I've painstakingly, it wasn't really that hard. I feel like I need to preface this with, it wasn't really that hard, but I painstakingly installed Dwarf Therapist and also DF Hack because I'm having some FPS issues, and chat keeps telling me that DF Hack and Dwarf Therapy are the way to go. So I'm gonna see if I can help my frames a little bit, like recover some frames. I've taken a peek at some of the commands and it seems like I can do something here. Okay, I did a thing. So what I'm trying to do is do a command called time stream, which apparently fixes FPS death. Maybe I should save the game before I do this. Yeah, let's save the game. Okay, saved and reloaded. Let's give it a go again. I think we're gonna just type in time stream. Fix FPS death. Do you remember when you first started a new fort, your initial 7 dwarves zip around the screen and get things done so quickly? As a player, you never had to wait for your initial dwarves to move across the map. Don't you wish that for your fort of 200 dwarves? This tool can help. Oh. So it actually adjusts the calendar speed to frames per second that the computer can support. The dwarves spend the same amount of time in-game doing their tasks, but that time for you, the player, will be sped up. So how do we run it? Do I just hit enter? Timed stream script has not been validated to work well with this version of Dwarf Fortress. It may not work as expected, or may corrupt your save. Well, we did just save, right? Okay. It's still dropping. I wonder if this number is what I'm seeing, or if it's actually... No, I can't tell. I can't tell how many frames I'm getting. Am I getting a true 23 frames, or is this what Dwarf Fortress thinks I'm getting? Is this how fast they're moving before? I can't remember. No, they feel faster. They're definitely faster. Remains to be seen. Okay, so let's go head downstairs and see how our new tunnel's coming along. Alright, so I don't know how the tunnel's doing, but I've gone through and queued up a bunch of installed door requests, so hopefully we're going to be cleaning out some stockpiles because I've got stuff everywhere. Yeah, let's see what our tunneler's up to. Whoa, we're almost there. You know what else I saw? Not on this floor. A dwarf over here. I'm very confused. How did this dwarf get here? How did this dwarf get here? It's gotta be something funky, because look, there's no way this dwarf could have gotten here. Missed him? Of course you're thirsty. Somehow you've managed to, I don't know, slide through the wall. Okay, well, I've marked these 4 tiles here with a higher priority. That way, our mystery dwarf who somehow managed to become a shadow or a ghost and move through the wall can actually escape and not die in this lonesome hallway. So I realize now that I installed all those doors, but I actually wanted to turn all my doors into glass because we have endless glass in this fort. I didn't really do the tour because there are plenty of videos that come prior to this one showing off this fort. But if you missed it, we have a big stinking volcano over here. It's a chonker. This volcano has been a useful source of endless magma, and check it out, endless sand, which means endless glass. This is a popular tunnel, huh? Look at all these dwarves. I think they're picking up some fancy tourmaline gems that we happen to have dug up. You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm going to just click this little auto button right here. So under our mining tool, under advanced, auto mining. And that's gonna send some dwarves over to dig this tourmaline vein until it runs dry. Alright, so nobody finished these constructions right here because they decided they wanted to suspend them. And I'm not sure if that's for one reason or another, if there was something in the way or what, but sometimes you just gotta watch your dwarves and make sure they actually build what they say they're gonna build. so there wasn't too much here. They dug out all the tourmaline, and now we are carving fortifications, which is actually right under this smooth tool with the V hotkey here. It's all the way on the far right. Carve a gap in a smooth wall to allow your archers to fire a weapon upon invaders. Oh, cool! Cobalt Legends! The Legends of Cobalt has been incorporated into my holdings, whatever that means. Well, now I got distracted. Okay, so yes, this is not necessarily going to be for archers at all. It is just going to be for water to pass through. So we could leave this open, but sometimes I just really gotta fill things in. I don't know why. I just want it to look nice and cohesive. Wow, this is really interesting. You can actually see the water here refroze right before our eyes. It refroze. And then it's been, I guess it's been freezing and then melting and then freezing and melting. I wonder just how much lava we're gonna need. I can't, it's evaporating. A liquid, including magma and water, I believe if it's a depth of 2 or less, has a chance to evaporate per something tick? I can't quite remember. Oh. I just found a leopard man dancer in my fort. You look really cute. Look at them, the leopard man dancer. I have no idea who this is. And why they're down in my fort, in my great hall. I don't believe they should be. Denied residency. I have no idea who this is, or what they're doing wandering around, but I did not know you could have man leopards. Alright, well, they've built it now. I've decided to leave this section open and only channel out these 4 tiles right here. Problem is, nobody's building this. And I'm not 100% sure why. Oh, okay, I know what it is. So, I wasn't able to tell before. The water is drained enough now that I can see. This is deep water. There's no way for them to reach this. I need to build, I guess, a grate might work. I think I have a grate available. No access. I think, which floor does it need to go on? Okay, that was not the right spot. We had to put it here. So I believe once we place this down, water should be able to move through it freely, but they also should be able to access these 2 spots to build those walls. Yay! Time to tear everybody's beds out from this very first lair here. You don't live here anymore. I hope you haven't grown attached to your bedrooms, little dwarves, because I'm taking your beds. I'm taking them, they're mine! Ooh. A ghostly child has risen to haunt the fortress. Oh. That's really sad. I'm fairly certain I remember what happened. I know a child died over here. I don't remember why. Hashtag not my fault, but still sad that they're haunting the fortress. Yes, they've done it. The grate was the answer. Okay, so it looks like Thumbelina here is carrying a big heavy rock because I told them to build these walls out of the rocks that are here. They're quite heavy, but it cleans them up, you know? There's so many rocks everywhere. I just feel like you might as well just use the rock itself rather than haul it about the fort, right? Right. Okay, so I'm glad that we figured this out because it's midwinter. Come spring, this is all gonna start melting and we might have a flooded fort on our hands if not for this. So let's see, I want to channel out. Nope, not mine. We want to click the mining orders and then grab channeling. This will allow us to reach the floor below from this floor above. So I think instead of building a floodgate, what I'll do is just fill this wall back in. And they've done it! They've done it! I know it looks like there's just a grate right here, but we're actually looking into the layer below. So this is layer 21, this is layer 21's floor, this is layer 20's floor. So I think this should work how I'm expecting. I think we're also going to want another wall piece here. I left this open just in case we didn't finish the project before winter was over. Because I'm telling you, as soon as winter is over, this is gonna flood. And if any doors were down there and there was no drain, I'm afraid for what would have happened to them. So I'm gonna close both of these things off now. I really hope this is working how I think it will. So we're gonna just use a diorite block to fill this in. We'll use the slate block up here to fill that in. And the water will fill this tunnel, hit this wall, and not flow out of these drains that are here. Instead, once this fills up, I really hope it's gonna push up through here and out the map on this side. That's really what I hope is gonna happen. So I found some green glass portals, and it feels kind of weird to do what I'm doing right now, which is use half of these white colored doors. I think it's andesite and dacite. They look very, very similar though. Unless you're zoomed in very closely, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. So, like, here's an andesite door. Here's a dacite door, and I think we've also got diorite or something. There's one more type of door, or is it just andesite? I don't know. It's been a minute since I played this fort, so it's gonna look weird, and we're gonna have a big mismatch of doors. But you know, we can just do what I've done with this entire fort, and painstakingly take all the doors out after the fact. Why not? It's not like I haven't painstakingly taken all the furniture out. I've spared you this, but I've gone through and hopefully selected every piece of furniture for removal, which unfortunately has dumped all the clothes on the floor. But it can also mean that they can be used here in these bedrooms. These bedrooms need some love, right? I don't know what to do with all their clothes. Okay, look at this. They've closed this off. They've done it. We've got our channel to this floor above, and this is filled in. I don't think we need to build any more wall pieces. The Rimworld player in me really does want to build more wall pieces just to, you know, keep myself safe from all those looming dangers, but I don't think that we have to. I don't think we have to. The only thing I'm concerned about with this concocted setup is if it gets too full, that it starts to flood here. I'm worried it's also going to start flooding here. And that's most certainly what we don't want. But this is truly an experiment. Let's see if we can turn this into a Clopen water system, which is closed and also open, if that wasn't clear. Okay, I was just admiring the lava situation here. And lava actually has very, very, very low pressure. So even though I've dug out a tunnel, it's moving through here so slowly that I think it's evaporating faster than it's moving through the tunnel. Although this did fill up, I'm wondering if this has to do with a temperature difference. Like perhaps it's really cold down here, which is causing the lava to evaporate quicker? Because it did start to fill up, right? And now it's evaporating at the edges. But what I'm thinking is, what if we were to close this sneaky floodgate right here? Let all this lava evaporate. Just let it evaporate. And then we can come back through and dig out the tunnel so it's extra wide. And we can also fix the spot right here. So that way the most important water will melt. Or the most important ice chunks will melt. Woo, look at it go. I really want to know what's going on here. I feel like we have less lava, but now the water is melting. I don't know. Let's close that gate. Just gotta figure out which lever goes where. Where did I hide all the keys? The Brook Lava Control Gate. None of these are named Brook Lava Control Gate. Oh, there it is. Just kidding. Pull it. Pull it! Okay, so now that I've uninstalled all the furniture, or at least most of it, I realized that it's really ugly and it doesn't match. So here I am in the work order menu, and I've queued up glass cabinets and boxes. I think a box might be the same thing as a coffer, because is it a bin or is it a box? Oh, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. And you also might have noticed that my labor menu looks a little bit different than how vanilla Dwarf Fortress looks. This is because, like I said, I have installed DF Hack and also DF Therapist, and maybe I can use these to somehow get things done a little bit quicker. I know that's what they're good at. By things, I mean tasks and just generally things occurring around the fort. I'm noticing the bones are disappearing, though. I've been having my dwarves make bone crafts, and let me tell you, we've got a lot of masterpiece bone crafts. But there's more bones to go. Eventually, I want no stockpile here. None whatsoever. Who's that? Hello, little green person. I guess you're not a person? Goblin? An animal trainer. Do you live here? No. What are you doing here? Why do I have randos down here? I do have a temple here, but I guess I set it to everyone. Now that I think about it, there are some naked dwarves in there. I'm sure they're not happy about this at all. I need to figure out how to fix the work order menu using some of these new tools. But that's not a problem for right now. Right now, we're making water loops. Clopen loops. Okay, well, it is late winter. This is completed. The lava currently is not melting the water, but that's not the concern. The concern is engineering this so what we're seeing right here does not continue to happen. The water has drained so much that there's no water left. It's just mud now. So once, I think it was mid-spring is when we experienced the melting, I believe. Once that happens, we should get everything up and running again. So if only I can fast forward time, I'll do some magic and fast forward it for you. Okay, well I said I know I was fast forwarding time. I said that backwards. I know I said I was fast forwarding time, but I just stumbled across a stockpile that I forgot that I made, and was admiring all these empty bags. I just wanted to share. These are just bags of nothingness. So many bags. Why do I have this many bags? That is a fantastic question. I've got 2 bills set to make 5 cloth bags. If the amount of available empty bags is less than 15, that cannot be the reason why we have all these. Is it just things that I've bought? And that's where they've moved them? This is craziness. This is crazy. Look how many empty bags. Alright, well, so I've checked my stockpiles. I actually have a stockpile here, intended for bags of sand. That's all I'm storing. Sandbags. Notice how there's no sandbags. Let's double check here that this is not where... Oh, we are storing sandbags here. We just need to check around the fort to make sure sandbags are not being stashed away somewhere sneaky like this. And if that's not the case, they're not being stashed somewhere sneaky, then there's gotta be an issue with my dwarves actually collecting sand itself. Time to investigate. So I haven't found any stockpiles with sneaky sand around, but what I have been ignoring is all these errors stating that my dwarves need sand-bearing items. So this is the, hey, you have a million things queued here in your work order menu regarding glass. We can't do it because there's no glass, but you can actually see they are taking a crack at it. So, and there's a bag of sand right there. I wonder if it's an issue of there's not enough dwarves set to collect sand. Oh, I just saw someone pick that up. No, they didn't. Perhaps it's there's not enough dwarves. Whoa. Oh no! A ghostly mace dwarf can be heard howling throughout the entire fortress. Whoa! For real though, the sand problem is more important. Okay, well looky here. I have got not a vampire making a green glass statue. Say that 5 times fast. They just came out here, picked up a bag of sand, and are heading back to work. So how do I collect sand in bulk? That's the next question. How could I possibly get them to fill this stockpile with bags of sand? Okay, so here's what I've done. I've set 4 magma glass furnaces with the task collect sand indefinitely. This task is set to repeat indefinitely. I've also put some peasants on the job and lock them to it, so they should only collect sand? I hope? And I'm not sure if this is collect sand for these workshops in particular, or if it's collect sand as in bring sand to the fort. We'll have to see, but in the meantime, Anderson, the Weaver, has been possessed. Anderson. Oh, there you are. Good guess. Let's see what Anderson is up to. So Anderson here has claimed this shop that I was gearing up to move, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm not all prepared to move it. This is where Anderson has gone, so I guess we're gonna get some clothes. I think this is a new one for me, getting some legendary clothes. I hope we don't forget about them up here, because I'm going right back downstairs to see what we can work on while we wait for the water to thaw. Actually, check on the lava. Ooh, it's already starting to evaporate. Even up here. Maybe in like a year, it'll be evaporated and we can start digging some more. Oh, we are running out of water though. Look at this. This has been full almost the entire time I've been running this. Full as in it was to a depth of 7 and now it's empty. This is the worst I've seen. Spring cannot come soon enough. I need to get my ghosts settled and moved elsewhere. I'm gonna keep working on cleaning up the fort while we wait for spring to arrive. What's this? And Zelbem was seen being stolen. Well, that's an easy one, isn't it? They were seen being stolen. So... Oh. Hey, there's a few open cases. How did I miss these? How did I miss these? Well, okay. Starting with trench finds, the theft of trench finds. It looks like there were no witnesses, so we're gonna work on that one. Whisker Whispers. We have 5 dwarves accusing Jinx and 1 dwarf implicating Rockman. Did I already deal with this? Like I said, it's been a minute since I've played this fort. And so it could be that I've already looked into this a little bit and just never finished it. Okay, back to cleaning up the fort until we see what Anderson finishes and also what's going on with the thieving thieves. Should I be concerned with the sheer number of goblins that happen to be roaming in my fort? In the intimate corners of my fort? Nah. Nah, you do you, goblins. While I'm thinking about it, I just wanted to share this bit of information if you weren't aware. So if you want to set up an area with multiple tombs without doors and have them actually be their own independent zones, you have got to select the tomb tool. Click paint, highlight a single coffin, and then accept. Over and over and over again. And this is how you can get multiple little coffin zones, and hopefully they'll start moving some bodies and put the ghosts to rest. I've actually done something kind of weird and deleted all the coffins except this line here. Deleted all the coffins from these sections And hopefully they just pick up the bodies and move them downstairs. You know what I mean? Alright, so it looks like Anderson is still about collecting resources for whatever they're making. And it is still not spring. So I've actually decided to open this gate back up. Hopefully the correct gate and not this one. Maybe I should double check. But I've decided to open this one back up because we've been going for a little while now, and this has hardly even depleted the lava levels, and somehow this looks like it's filled itself up even more, so I'm not quite sure what's happening here. But I'm just gonna let it keep doing its thing. Maybe once it becomes spring and summer, there's going to be some sort of temperature fluctuation that will lead to less lava evaporating. I'm making a very confounded face right now, like I'm very skeptical about that, but just maybe it will. Maybe it'll work. Still no Anderson. Where did you go, Anderson? What are you making? Oh, there you are. Do you have everything that you need? You've brought a whole lot of stuff here. Some bones, iron, some blocks, cloth, more blocks, more cloth, and Anderson's still collecting more. We'll check in with them in a few. Here it is! Medtob has begun a mysterious construction, and I bet you that's Anderson. Yeah, that means Anderson got everything they needed. And now they're working away, muttering, is Seth become? Is Seth become? Let's see what it becomes. Alright, so you might have noticed this little flashing petition sign. I've got, well, you know, I've ignored a lot of these people. Nope. I've got only 2. There were a few more, I think, but 2 requests for guild halls. And I've kind of just been ignoring them because I had nowhere to put them. But that's not the case any longer. So I'm going to work on setting up the Silvery Guild and the Constructive Hall for the Stoneworker Guild and the Craft Dwarves Guild, and I think I'm going to put them here and here respectively. Okay, I dug out a little area, but it's red. I don't know if that's normal or if it's maybe DF hack or DF therapist, but the zone went from being red, or went from being green to being red. Like when I made this meeting area here. Except if I set it to being a new guild hall, I need, I can't remember. Stoneworkers and craft dwarves. Guild hall? We're looking for craft dwarves. And now this one's green. What's that about? Why is this one red? Oh, because somebody hit the pause button. I didn't know you could do that. It turns red if you pause it. Don't mind me. Okay. We need to make them two guild halls. And I assume that that's going to require making them be a little bit fancy, right? Let's get smoothing. I've already assigned my dwarves to smooth all these random corners that I built because I've intended these to be areas for statues or display items, and once you place down statues and display items, you can't smooth the wall below. So I've gone and... oh, I missed some spots over here. But I've smoothed the corners and things, like down here, so I can start placing statues and whatnot. It looks nice. I do like the contrast of the green on all these light colored floors. And against these walls, I love how these walls have this dark interior and the white exterior. I think it looks great against the green. Now we just need dwarves to make glass quicker. Ah, there it is! Anderson has created. Is Seth become a bulky pigtail sandal? She offers it to I spent the fiery dollar. Oh, a sandal. Why, thank you. I always wanted a sandal. Appreciated. Alright, so it's the 1st of granite early spring, and no, the ice still has not thawed. I'm sure it'll be happening soon, and once that occurs, we should be back in business. We should have waterfalls falling all over our little dwarven heads. And these water wheels? Well, you know they're already turning. We've got plenty of water down here to keep turning these. You know what? They don't power anything aside from these pumps right here, though. But look how many there are. This is going to be a perfect backup power system if needed. Oh, good. The ghostly dwarven child has been put to rest. I'm happy to hear that. All these tombs are in fact filled now. These are empty but filled. You know, it makes me wonder if I should delete the tomb designation and then put it back. I like this new confirmation. This is not vanilla, I don't think. Vanilla Dwarf Fortress. This is either from wait, I think it said. Oh, yep, DF hack right there. So this is only taking as long as it seems to be taking, because half the time when I click, the game is not actually registering my clicks because my FPS is too low, and I don't know if we've actually done something to expedite the whole frame rate thing, but it might be worthwhile to try out one of the other tools to zap away all the gunk on the map that could be slowing us down. Like maybe all these clothes scattered about. Could be an option. Alright, I'm currently typing in the DF hack console, not in game, but it looks like there are some options that I can do, like clean all. I just typed clean all in the DF hack console, and it said it cleaned 257 map tiles, removed like 10,000 contaminants. So those are contaminants on the dwarves themselves, I believe. So I've just basically took them from being dirty to being clean. Oh, clean dwarves once again. I just noticed that we've got some mist and there's water moving here, which can only mean one thing. Cha! The water did not melt. Huh? Got my hopes up there for a second. Oh. Okay, maybe it's mid-spring where it starts to melt. Okay, so our FPS is still a solid 20. I know that it's simulating 100 FPS to get 50 FPS, but maybe we should try clean all mud. And item. Removes mud and removes item spatter. This cleaned up a couple of things, and we maybe got a frame back. I do believe... Oh, whoa, it cleaned up my... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the mud's gone. I mean, I know that I just typed exclamation... I didn't type exclamation anything. I typed clean mud. But it looks so much nicer now that the mud's gone. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so nice. Look at that. Fancy. Oh, there's a cow starved to death. You know what else we could probably do? Oh, auto butcher. I did spend a painful amount of time going through and butchering animals and gelding them, so it might not be necessary, but there's other things we can do too. We could try to do a stable temperature fix. We could cause some things to deteriorate. We could nuke free items. I don't know what a free item is. I'm a little bit nervous because if a free item is like drinks or food, is a free item gonna be something like this? Or is it gonna be something like that? This being clothes and things that are deteriorated and icky, or that being food and drinks that are really important? I kind of want to try it. It's called devil/nuke items, and I kind of want to nuke items, but also I'm kind of scared to nuke items. We could save before doing it, but I don't know. Maybe I should read into it a little bit before I just start nuking things in my game. Okay, fine. Let's save real fast. Okay, I gave this thing an appropriate name called nuke test. So now I've typed devil. It's not devil like DEVIL. It's DEVEL/nuke items. Fingers crossed. I got a warning. This has not been validated to work well with this version of Dwarf Fortress. This might corrupt your game. Oh, gosh, not again. I don't want my game to be corrupted. I'm not even sure if an extra save file would help with that. Let's not nuke the game, okay? Ah, geez, we had another theft. And that just reminded me, I forgot to look into the justice menu. I guess let's look into this as well. Alright, it looks like we've got ourselves some interrogation reports, and I think I did do some investigating in Autumn. I don't know that I've ever looked it over. Perhaps I did. Aha! From Autumn, we definitely started playing in winter, right? So I already looked into Jinx, and I just didn't do anything. Jinx, TLDR, confessed to the theft. And this is where the implication for Rockman comes from. Okay, so let's pop over to open cases. So we have a confession. Whoops. Alright. We have a witness, Kib Figure Secrets, who confessed. What's all this weirdness? Okay, so subject confessed to the theft. Jinx. Regarding what? Interrogation report. Quite a bit of stuff has happened. Okay, let's deal with this and then go back to the other thing. So, theft, convict. So, weirdly enough, somebody confessed. Unless that's Jinx's actual name. Jinx Voodoo Nekut. The thing is, Kib figure secrets. That's gotta be Jinx, right? Yes, Kib figure secrets. That is their dwarven name, excluding the nickname that was given to them during a Twitch stream. That is their dwarven name translated. There was an implication from Jinx in the theft of Whisker Whispers, Rockman Peaceful Plunged. So that is what our intelligence has to say here. In mid-spring of 111, Rockman Peaceful plunged as the human bard Rockman Peaceful Plunge of the Union of Spells corrupted the subject in order to have an agent in Coldanvil, the Frosty Helm. They met the subject and made a threat. Subject was too afraid not to comply, despite valuing the law. Alright, then we have something else here too. This is of Cad Thruridem, the human bard. Confessed to the theft. Subject revealed that in the early spring of 103, they made an agreement, becoming a resident here in our fort. In midwinter of 103, an unidentified creature as the criminal duly wheat youths of the Union of Spells corrupted the subject to have an agent in Coldanvil. An unidentified creature met with them and made a threat. They became a citizen in 105. In midsummer of 111, Timta Eggclaps, as the poet, Timta Eggclaps, corrupted the subject to have an agent in Coldanvil. Oh, Cad. Alright, so... this was reported last year. Okay, you've confessed. Oopsies. Unsolved. We must interrogate Pelanova because the squashed price was stolen. Gosh, I keep doing that. Fairly certain the other three... yeah, these are implications of people that we don't know. Except this one. Pelanova's my tavern keep. Alright, let's see if that water's melted yet. No, it hasn't. Oh, and here's poor Cad being beaten down, I think, by the guard. They're seriously injured. They're nauseous. They might die. They just might die. They broke her arms. They broke her feet. They broke her body. Oh, and bruised her pancreas. Oh my. I think my police my police dwarves might be up to oof. I don't know. We gotta reel them in a little bit. Oh, we've got another ghost. Who then was immediately put to rest. Never mind. Another ghost was put to rest. You know what I just did? I just designated a bunch of tombs. That's right. Just placing one little zone at a time. Alright, mid-spring is here and the water still isn't thawed. Oh, is damp normal? Ice wall. Ice wall, ice wall. Damp ice wall. It's because it's right next to water, right? When do you melt? I swore it was springtime. I guess it's only mid-spring. Yeah, impatient. What are these? Coyotes. They're so cute. Come on, oh, you can do it. The ground up top is no longer what's the word, snowy. So it's any moment now, right? You can do it. This is all we're waiting on. This is it. We just need you to melt so we can call this Clopen system complete. It's happening! It's happening! Look at it! Look at it go! It's melting. I can't tell if it's melting because of lava or if it's melting because it's springtime. Or maybe a little bit of both. Okay, I actually thought that the whole thing was melting. Now I'm a little disappointed. It's just from the lava. But this is very interesting to see, so there is some temperature fluctuation happening here. It's difficult to monitor. In fact, I wonder if... I wonder if I were to type fix/stable-temp into the TF command line. Okay, I hit enter. Items not in equilibrium, 3,565. Okay, I don't know what that means, but maybe that will... It looks like we got a frame or two back. Cool. Just melt already. Just melt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's happening. For real, right? Right? Springtime? No, that looks like where the lava's at. Funny story, question mark? I don't know if it's really so funny, but I've been recording this for a little while now, and hopefully it's been cut down so it's not so long. A lot of it's just been busy work on my end, but my husband popped in his head to tell me I've been playing Dwarf woahhjess for too long and that dinner's ready and it's getting cold, and I'm just over here looking at this ice wall and how it's still cold. How dare you all freeze back over? This ice wall needs to warm up so I can go get my dinner. Maybe it's late spring when it finally thaws. I thought we were looking at early spring. The water has almost completely drained from this lair. The water wheels continue to turn because I thought ahead and made this big, deep trench through here, but... well... oh dang! Here I was just reading about making clothes deteriorate, and boom! It all just melted at the same time. The water's rushing in. It's happening! Finally! Finally. So I am curious to know if the lava is going to spread a little faster now. That's not the important thing. The important thing is water is injecting itself back into the system. And so that does take a little while. Let's give it a few moments. All right, and there we have it. Look, the water's back in the system. All right, we've got water moving its way up here. It's dropping down over our dwarves all the way down, and so this is why I've got this main staircase here with these grates, because that means dwarves get misted by this waterfall all day, every day, and hopefully we can make this staircase an integral part of navigating the fortress, meaning no matter where they go, they have to get misted by the waterfall, which is not as bad as it sounds. They actually love it. So the water is continuing to fall, and it's beginning to accumulate down here, with them being pulled up by these pumps, because this is how pump stacks work. They pull from this end right here from the tile below, so from here up, and then they spit it out, so it's dropping back down on this side. So it goes from elevation 20 up to 21 and then back down to 20. And so you can use this in different ways. For instance, the pump stacks that I've built, like right here, this one is grabbing water from elevation 22, bringing it up to its own level and dumping it here at 23, which is then being pulled up by this one, dumped on the elevation 24, and so on and so forth, all the way up to the very tippity top of my pump stack. And so these do require power to run, but as long as they're touching the pump stack below, which requires some cheeky channeling tactics that you can find tutorials on it, they will power themselves. You just need to have enough water wheels. So this is going to take an incredibly long time. It looks like it is about late mid-spring when this finally melts. Oops. But the water is already filling back up here. It's going to continue to make its way down, fill up this canal, and so we've already hit a little bit of a... This was almost completely full, and it's lowered in depth, so it's got to fill itself all back up. But it's already started to do so right here. If you'll notice, this is all level 7, and this is not the lair with the water wheels. The water wheel water, but this is the lair that used to have water in it that drained, and so it's filling back up. Beautiful! I haven't had a chance to confirm that this method works once and for all, but I can say that we've hopefully finished it. Hopefully. I'll have to confirm it in a future episode. And that's it for me today. We're going to have to leave it to testing to see whether or not this water system is working, and so that's coming up soon. I think in the next video I'm going to work on organizing the fort a little bit more, and also start constructing a tavern. A big tavern down in the main hall. It's going to be quite an ambitious build, and I hope to see you there. Once again, I'm woahhjess. Please let me know how you like this format of video, and if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Dig safely and have fun!